Joffrey, Renly, Robb Stark are all thieves. They'll bend the knee or I'll destroy them.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Citadel with me, Grand Maester Stitch, where we return to the Knights of Andalia with High King Florian, the first of his name. So, what's happened recently? We have defeated the West, and the West seems to be crumbling now, which is interesting. Got the huge Stormlands under the Iron Stars, the Reach, which is in utter chaos with several civil wars, Dawn, which is being raided by slavers, I believe, the newly founded buffer state of the Kings of the Rivers and Hills, as well as the Lord Paramounts of the Claw, unless they are independent now, I'm not sure. But we will unpause. I think we're still a few years away from being able to do anything about the North, if I remember correctly. We are, yeah, wow, still 4 years away. That's rather bad. That's ages away, but we are gaining claims pretty fast, so at least by the time that we do go to war, hopefully we'll be able to take a huge amount of land in one swoop. Then again, they are at war. Who are they at war with? They are defending against Prince Patrick of the Empty Pockets in Lord Patrick of Skagos' War for the North. Who is... oh my god. Lord Patrick of the Empty Pockets of Skagos. Okay. He has 69 manpower, so I don't think he's going to win that. My son was born to Garth Goldmark and Arana named... he was stillborn, so it doesn't really matter. And Amara Mudd has died at the age of 57, which is a shame. So, she seems familiar, but I'm not sure why. We have a request to marry Pierce Snow. I'm going to have to decline. We've not got anything there that we can do, so we'll leave that. I'm not going to colonise Bravos or anything like that. We can't hold a tourney for quite some time, unfortunately. Until... oh no, we can hold one fairly soon, actually, which is interesting. Lord Harbord of the Trident has given me bizarre and repulsive evidence concerning someone's sexual preference. That's fine, I'm not really interested. If we call a Grand Invasion Council, would we be able to go to war with the North by doing it that way? Would we still be breaking a truce? I'm not sure, so I'm going to do it and see what happens. You have decreed a Grand Council to be held to discuss the planned invasion. All the important nobles of Andalia have been issued a summons, compelling them to travel to Sevenstar. Okay, and considering that it did fall through in the last episode, can we search? No, we actually can't search for a smith because we did it recently. That really sucks, considering they ran away with our money and materials. So, yep, let's unpause, let's let things go. The Racks and Morgaths are still at war. It's going to be interesting to see what does happen with the West if the Reach and the Stormlands are too busy to get involved. We'll spend lavishly on food so that we can win the favour of people a little bit more. We did have our son Prince Stefan born in the last episode, which is interesting. I'm looking forward to probably going to have quite a few family members on the council at some point. We've got Pierce Snow here with her 26 intrigue, so she's probably going to be Master of Whispers when Winton passes or something happens to Winton. She's still only 20, so she's going to learn her trade. Ambrose is now learning his trade as a lordling, getting ready for kingship, which could be a while away still. How old is he now? 21. Most of the other daughters, I think we did sort out guardianships for those. We have Princess Kyra, who is skilled in martial. Who's her guardian? Lord Walder of the White Star, I believe, was a decent commander, wasn't he? Yes, so that's fine. I'm going to see if there's any others that we need to sort out. If any more can anything be done with them. We do have Engar, who I'm grooming to hopefully be a future hand of the king, but he's also very good at martial and learning as well, so that's interesting. He is betrothed to Andara Blackwood. He is a squire as well. He's brave. He's been, warded by our Master of Coin. We then Princess Lyanna, who is 6 years old. She's quite good in stewardship. She's been warded by Prince Engar. He's not too bad at stewardship. We'll leave her there for now. Kyra, we already looked at. Violet, who is good in martial, but she's got a faith, so we'll leave her with the mate. Then again, Maester Simon is quite shit, really, isn't he? Let's design a better guardian for you, shall we? Who have we got? Someone with good, impressive learning. We've got our Septum. Do you know what? The Septum would probably be better, actually, if we're giving you the learning. Let's send you to Septon, Robert. We then have Lister Snow, our son, who's 5 years old. He's got 2 stewardship, 3 intrigue. He's not really gained any traits yet, so I'm not sure what I want him to focus on just yet, so we'll leave that. We then have Prince Owen, who is fairly all-rounded. Do you know what? Let's go for pride, and we will assign a guardian for you. Let's get someone with some decent martial. Let's send you to Danes, the Lord of Runestone, our good friend. Then have Princess Alice, who, there's nothing really that interesting about her. Princess Mina, one diplomacy, she's only 2 years old. And Prince Stephanie, who's only just been born. Yes, you must perform at my feast. Lady Brightstone has died of depression. And Ben of the Black Sheep Hills died at the age of 72. The new lord is Sir Samuel Lancer. Is he the new lord, or...? No, Lord Baron Lancer. Okay, interesting. All preparations for the council are finally complete, and the great nobles have started to arrive in Sevensport. They have all been given bread and shelter, as is their guest right, and now the feast may begin. Yes, we want to invade what remains of the... Oh, Skagos is independent. I was going to say, can we declare war on Skagos whilst they are independent? But unfortunately, we cannot, which is a shame. Because they're Faith of the Seven, so we can't even do a religious invasion. Frenya Saltcliffe died a natural death at the age of 60. Okay. What are the Riverlands up to? Our new buffer kingdom. We do have a truce as well as a non-aggression pact with them. They're not really doing much. One of their sons is... well, was betrothed to our daughter, Prince Emmon, but appears not to be. Or was it his daughter, one of his daughters? No. I could have sworn that I arranged a betrothal with you, so we're going to have to sort that back out. We won't go with me, we'll go with Alice, and you're not willing to do that, unfortunately. God, we've got a lot of 7 stars around now, haven't we? Elena, is this our friend? Oh no, Elena Lancer. Not sure who you are. You're betrothed or married to Harsley Seymour. She spoke up about the food. She enjoyed it. Thank you very much. Have we got any young kids in our court that are in need of betrothals and such? John Hornbreaker. Nothing overly impressive about you. What you've got? Playful, so diplomacy. Your diplomacy's okay. Your intrigue's better, but we'll go down that route. Why not? We don't want to arrange a betrothal. We want to assign a guardian for you. And who have we got who is good at diplomacy? Lady Redfort. Lord Anvil. Let's send you there to be warded. Do you have any other children apart from, obviously, our own children? There might be a few more hanging around. Some other people are about to have a couple in our court, aren't they, I would imagine? Looks like only 7 stars so far. Oh, Gilwood and Lyra, whoever these are. Lyra is a Northman. No idea who she is. 12 years old. No idea who you are at all. We've got... oops. Gilwood. Whoever Gilwood is. I'm not sure who Gilwood is at all, actually. Who are you, Gilwood? Liege, Lord Theobald the Kind. Wow, you've got... no, you've not, actually. I was going to say you've got decent martial, but you haven't... it isn't that impressive. That's it, really. Yeah, they're all just our own kids. So, Lord Emmon Draxler has used his defence at the Feast in Sevensport to present a justice petition, a petition for justice before the court. He claims that Lady Mara Aaron made an attempt on his life. We'll lose the just trait if we don't. So, she must have done something, and we have arrested her, which is excellent. It's going to make her hate us. She is dishonourable. She does have a son, at least, an Aaron son. Let's have a look at him. He's got a fever. Can we can offer you a non-aggression pact, which you're not going to sign while you're in our custody. We can ransom you for 70 gold, though, which we will do. We'll take that 70 gold. That pays for our feast. You committed much gold to this extravagant feast. In particular, the guests were impressed with the large centrepiece, which I'm not going to read because we have to read that so much. We did gain a decent amount of prestige. Let's see if we can get some sort of invasion on the go. My dear friend, I wish to give you the honour of sending my child, Arwen, to you in Sevensport, making you her ward. Let's have a look. Wow. She's actually... oh no, she's not very good at all, is she? If I say no, it's going to offend him. We don't have any wards. Yeah, why not? We do need to find ourselves a new ward, actually, if we don't have any wards. Let's have a look at Lord Firehand. His grandson, Winton Firehand, who is strong. When he comes of age, I will take him as a squire. Let's have a look what young characters we've got in our realm who are not child and who are, well, no, they don't need to be male. We could take on a female if they're a good fighter. Who has got the best martial? Who's the youngest with the best martial? Got our son, Engar, but we're going for stewardship with him, but he's doing well anyway. Oh, who's this guy? Alistair, 15, skilled fighter. He isn't of noble birth or anything like that. We've already marked who is important, though, so you have stood out to us in the past, apparently. We send him a gift to make him like us. I'm definitely going to keep an eye on you. You're pretty impressive. If we could make good use of you, we can't make you noble or anything like that. We can grant you a landed title, actually, but we don't have anything too grand. We need to keep an eye on you. We've got Cleos here, who is also fairly decent trained fighter. He's a giant. He's diligent, kind. Deceitful, though, which is always a worry. But he's not too bad either. Have we got any others? We've got Morgan Greystock, 13. Decent fighter. Who is your guardian? Grand Maester at Arms. Can we assign a better guardian just to get a little bit more out of you for the last few years of your education? Let's send you to... Lord Belmont's not a great fighter. Match Chainbreaker is, though. We have Aphos High Oak. Wow, who's got decent martial? Let's take you on for ourselves. We'll take on Aphos High Oak. Is there any other decent ones? Come of age, 15-year-old giant. Widron Bolton, who's impressive all round. Only 13, though. Merrybold Roseheart, who is a giant and strong. He's only 8 years old. He's a poor fighter already. Can we take you on for ourselves? Another Roseheart, why not? We've got a Dory Lord here. We've got a trained fighter here, 15. I'm looking for the younger ones so that we can maybe make more of an impact. We've got a decent Anvil Girl here, though. Let's assign a guardian for you. Someone with decent martial, decent fighter. We'll send you to Brandon Stark. Why not? Any other decent ones that we can make use of? We've got a 5-year-old genius here. Bolton. Another Bolton genius. There's another one right there. Marek Bolton, who is, wow, impressive. He's going for a diplomatic. So let's definitely assign a guardian for you. Someone with decent diplomacy. Well, we've got decent diplomacy ourselves, which is interesting. Can we send you to Lady Redfort? No, we can't. What about Lord of the Red? No. Okay, fair enough. Any other decent ones? We're going below the best martial now, aren't we? While we're at it, let's have a look. Is there any really good diplomacy, young diplomacy? Wow, you're pretty good, but you're... Wow, Kyle, stop. I think we already sorted something out for him. Janella Creed, 14. 12-year-old, we've got Engar, our son. Wow, that's that Alistair again. He's very impressive. We're definitely going to have to do something with him. Definitely. That is very impressive. Bolton there. A Maynard Greystock. He's not too bad. Gone for a diplomacy focus. 7 years old. Let's assign a guardian for you. I don't think we're going to be able to do this because we're already doing a bit of business, aren't we, with the Greystock? So we're going to have to do that afterwards. We've got a decent bloom there. 6 years old. Who's also got decent diplomacy. Let's assign a guardian for you. Someone with very good diplomacy. Lady Redfort. There we go. Stewardship. Any kids with amazing stewardship? Lady Dirt. Anger, our son. Hallis, courtier. Okay. You're interesting. Quick. Playful, fussy. Can we assign a guardian for you? Someone with impressive stewardship. Let's send you to Lord Folman. Any other decent ones? Manch Chainbreaker's son, who's got 11. Wow, 11 stewardship already. With an annoying focus. Let's send you to Morton Fenn's not too bad. Florian Sevenstar ourselves. Let's send you to our brother. Why not? Any other decent ones? No, the others are all getting a bit. Oh, 4-year-old genius here from Whitford, who does have chest pains. What a surprise. Let's assign a guardian for you. Someone with impress. Let's send you to Lord Redfork, and hopefully you'll come to our court. Right, let's have a look. Intrigue. Any good kids with amazing intrigue from a young age? Stoke. Tyler Seymour, 12 intrigue. Yeah, let's assign a guardian for you. Someone with good intrigue. Let's send you to our daughter, Pia. Oh, we can't. What about Winton Firehand? No, it's not going to allow us to do that. I do want to keep an eye on you, though, Tyler Seymour. We've got Roy Scale. These are mainly older. Wow, Anger Seymour. Anger Sevenstar can literally do whatever he wants. That Alistair again shows up. Yet again, very impressive. Yeah, there's not really any others. What about learning? Do we have any children of incredible learning who are still young? Athelmore Dirt. Athelmore Rivers. He's a bastard in our court, apparently, as well. He's on a guardian for you. Then again. Intrigue focus. What a waste. Yeah, we'll leave it at that for now. We'll leave it at that. Let's unpause and continue. We've sorted out a couple. A new Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, House Wallard, I believe, who are from the Grandlands. And Lord Commander Grafton died. Yeah, I think, didn't we send him to the Night's Watch? I've got a feeling we did. Well, yeah, we'll be merciful because we're going to wait for her to pay her ransom anyway and let her go. Just wait for this War Council to see if we can actually do anything with that. And they've accepted the guardianship between Ronald Bloom and Lady Redfort. Perfect. High Oak is now under our control. We can take him on as a squire, and Meribald Rozak is Rotar is also now under our control as well. Can we? Can't take him on as a squire just yet. No, he should be our ward, shouldn't he? No, okay, we'll send you to Danes instead then. My wife doesn't seem very content at the moment. She wants more clothes. If you want clothes, make them yourself. Yeah, we'll buy you clothes. We've got plenty of money. Sir Eddard Snow, I will find you someone nice. Let's find him a match. Someone's just died by the sounds of it. The Dirt there. Courtier in the Trident. There you go. Marry that Dirt girl. Peace with you. I gladly accept the contract between Sir Damon and Adron. And there we go. All those guardianships have been accepted. Perfect. Which is what we want for a better Andalia. Your Grace, I'm pleased to report that the majority of the population in Gravesham has been converted to Faith of the Seven. Gravesham, where's that? Is that down here somewhere? Ah, down there. Okay. I didn't realise that it wasn't already Faith of the Seven. I thought most of that was Faith of the Seven a long time ago. And she's accepted her ransom. Perfect. The feasting is over and now the council can begin in earnest. Everyone has assembled in the hall with the most notable attendees close to yourself. Your proposed decree legalising your planned invasion is read out by Lord Theobald and is met by surprise from many. Now we can debate. And perfect. He has now been sent. Old Moribald Rosa is under Danes of Runestone's control, who is incredible. One of the best commanders we've had in a long time. Right. Can we now get to war? Lord Brandon, the fifth time, came to address the council, and he wasted no time in pointing out the potential gain to be had from a foreign campaign led by High King Florian. He spoke at length about the golden lands and that all may win, and spoke lustfully of the glory and prestige to be won. Some thought his ambition crude and unseemly, but many had similar thinking and agreed with him. Lord Edrion, is this Belmont? Yes, was particularly excited about a campaign. But not for entirely honourable reasons. He prayed High King Florian for potentially granting everyone the opportunity to go on a campaign where he claims everyone will bond together in comradeship. He also made a quip about the women to be found embedded and the bastards that will be spawned because... Oh, okay. But at least he agreed. So, at least he's on side. Lord Ryman was always one for rules and strict laws, so it was no surprise that he opposed the invasion on the grounds of law and custom. Well, 2 out of 3. Peace with you, I gladly accept the Guardian contract. Perfect. A vassal of note, when Lord Osgood came to speak, the council listened intently. Their arguments in favour of High King Florian's planned invasion seemed to resonate with many, with some on the council giving audible shouts of agreement. Still, many sat in silence, with division amongst the council still evident. What's Lord Belmore like? He's pretty good. What's his son like? Heir. Oh, he's slow. He's useless. A vassal of note, Lord Walton Fenn. Okay, he argued in favour as well. Lady Edmund the Drunkard. As a high-ranking noble, of course she had to speak, but it may have been better if she hadn't. Oh, great. Lord Royce. Danes came forward to the council, listened intently. Their arguments in favour of High King Florian's planned invasion seemed to resonate with many. Of course, Danes backs us up. Good lad. As well as Lord Stoke. Wintered Firehand. He backed us, of course he did, good lad. And Lord Hunter. Would have been better if he didn't speak. He sees the dangers. There's no dangers. And Fearbold Anvil, he's our friend, so yeah, he argued for us. Engus Seymour, I thought he was incapable. Yeah, he's still got dysentery. Still got the Andalian shits. But he proposed invasion was most convincing, it seems, for his speech roused many cheers of support. Well done, Enga, thank you. Good old lad, what a lad. Morris Steelheart also spoke. Perfect. So yeah, these are all going really well for us. Mance, people love Mance speaking. Lord Clifford, he's still about. Wow, he's getting quite old now. Perfect. Who's this? The Septon of Raventree Hall. Why he's speaking up, I don't know. Harry and Lancer. All present, no ruler, not even a high king, cannot just decide. Oh, she's going against us, the bitch. Lord Blackburn, he's going for us, whoever it is. My God, everyone wants to speak. Perfect. Lady Redfort went for us, so hopefully it seems like most are for. And not a... Whoa, what's this? What is this? What is this going on in the Stony Shore? Peter with you, I gladly accept your suggestion that Sir Eddard and Zia get married. Perfect. Zia has arrived at our court. Alasane Glover has arrived at your court. Interesting. Why is a Glover? Alain of Northman Liberation Revolt. Okay. Alasane of Northman Liberation Revolt has declared liberation of Stony Shore on High King Florian the Eagle. Why is she... Lord Ronald of Oldcastle has inherited Lordship of Old... Oh, God. Here we go. What's going on here? Lots of stuff kicking off. You proceed to give an utterly convincing and inspiring speech. Your subjects are captivated as you promise them glory and riches if they agree to follow you. Many break out in applause and cheering throughout, and by the end, they are cheering your name loudly and heartily. Awesome. We gain a load of prestige. Blackpool has just been sieged, which is not good. What have we got here? So, how did you just die? Under suspicious circumstances, Lord Garth Bloom. His son is now the heir, quick and fair, so he's decent. He's got a sibling. Oh, who's a Templeton? Interesting. Oh, no, he does have Ellard Bloom as well, so there is another Bloom, and he's club-footed. So at least we've got the Blooms secure. Alasane Glover has arrived at your court. Well, if she's at our court, can't we just imprison her? So we've got a revolt kicking off, which is not the best. How much manpower can you call it from the Firehands? The Firehands love to bring down a revolt of first men, don't they? We've got 1,200 men here. What can we call up here? 750 if we get those on that fleet quickly. Sail them round to the Father's Fields. Stark Army? Will the Stark Army alongside that be enough? I think it probably will. If we march all these hosts to meet in Florian Square. Will that be enough? Maybe not. Maybe it won't be enough. Should we send the... Let's send the Rose Hearts and the Jossos in as well. I think that should be enough manpower. We've also got the Bear Island Force, haven't we? 1,000 men. We get those to sail down to Barroton as well. I think that'll be enough manpower to take down this peasant revolt. It's been a long time since we've had a liberation revolt. Edric Silvervale died of cancer. No idea who he is. Who's going against us now? Lord Belmont. Let's have a look at Lord Belmont. He's lustful, deceitful, Gregorous, wrath, brave. We'll ask politely, see what he does. I'm not blackmailing him. The Grand Council is finally over, with every important noble in the realm having had their say. Your decree allowing you to launch an invasion was always going to pass, seeing as you have the final say. We do now know we can rely upon support throughout. So that's perfect. So at least we know that we've got the backing of our vassals for this, which is good. They seem to support my initiative. They appear to reserve judgment. They appear to oppose the plan. A lot opposed, but most were for by the looks of it, so that's good. But we're going to have to take this down now before we can invade. I was hoping to get Skagos while they were busy. How is that war going? Oh, it's 0 war score, though, to be fair, so we probably can swoop in and take Skagos once we take down this peasant revolt. Hoarfrost Blackmire, called in a favour, okay. Honoured King, thank you for reminding me of my duties and obligations as your vassal. Good. Stay in line. Winifred Shycross died of depression. Well, good for her. Let's get our men together quickly. No idea what the Morgaths and Raks are doing. They're taking their sweet time with that war. Surely one or the other could have won this by now, especially the Morgaths with that huge, huge host. We know that both have borrowed vast amounts from the bank. The sound of the Andalian army was deafening. Ambrose had grown to hate the techniques his father used. It is more a pageant than a march, parading his toy soldiers, Ambrose thought. Florian had delayed their advance considerably, making sure the seven-pointed star was seen in every hamlet and by every inn. The drums blared as they reached any town, not to organise a march, but to announce the arrival of King Florian, the Lion Tamer. They were deep into the cold, windswept northwesterly reaches of Andalia, as Ambrose pushed his black charger past yet another craggy moor. He saw his father, in all of his kingly pomp, sat across a steep mound and stared. At times like this, it was hard not to feel some sort of resentment, jealousy almost. Ambrose aspired to be much like his father, though no king and prince of stars had been less alike since his namesake and his successor, Aengar II. Ambrose sometimes had thought his father truly wanted his second son, Aengar the Elder, to succeed him, and the boy's grandfather certainly wished for it to be so, a bit his scheming imagined or no lay in the ground along with him. Aengar was the king's own ward, campaigning here as a squire. Ambrose had never done so. Hence the granting of the Eyrie upon him was in many ways a great relief. It was ideal, tucked away in those snow-capped peaks. Ambrose could learn all the rudiments of ruling, and in truth, Ambrose hated that city and wished for his son to grow up away from that den of vipers. Aengar the Elder could and would so often glide through the streets of Sevenstar, carousing with the denizens protected by the King's Guard, of course. And when they themselves had been pageanted around that cesspit of a city, it was he who got all the applause. Ambrose may as well have been a mounted corpse, though Ambrose had never held it against him. Even in private he was somewhat brooding. He was able to do what Ambrose was not even at that age. Set aside the boy, or in this case the man, for the prince. Prince Aengar and Aengar Sevenstar were two different masks. Ambrose broke his trance and rode towards his father, who was giving nods and curtsies to every group of soldiers that would pass. He had grown fatter, but he was still imposing. His scars snaked across his face like the trident where he had found his greatest glory. He would day to day wear his father's crown now, a simple band of gold. "I have never liked crowns. This one weighs the least, but no less heavy," Florian would tell him, but during wartime and while he was younger, as he had done with rotting roots and as he did during the taming of the lions, he wore the crown of winter. Its cold black spikes made his cobalt eyes shine all the more. That was the only thing of Florian he did not have. The two were a spitting image, bar his eyes. He had his mother's eyes, a mother he had not seen since her departure, though the two wrote frequently. The prince finally reached the king. "Your Grace," Ambrose said with a tilted head. "Formal, Ambrose. We're not at court. No one can hear you over this din anyway," Florian pointed, smiling to the men and their flapping banners, fabric whipped by the wind. When the news of his rebellion had broken, Florian almost seemed giddy. The king aggrieved, the man jubilant. His wounds had prevented him from being present at what he was still parading as his greatest triumph, South, but now he was afield again for the first time in years. "I've been meaning to ask you," Ambrose was interrupted by Florian greeting some knight. Ambrose noticed the 3 arrows on a field of red upon his sigil. Ambrose was late and blurted out, "Lord Belmont?" with an uneasy nod. "That was Lord Belmont, our cousin by marriage. House Anderman's last scoin is now at the wall," Florian said with a sigh. "You've been meaning to ask me?" Florian was clearly frustrated with his son. "Oh, God, it's not about your mother, is it?" Florian said without looking, waving at his men, a grin now plastered on his face. No, nothing of that sort. I wanted to know how you do it," Ambrose said, head tilted downward once more, though not in courtesy this time. He had always found it hard to open up. He surmised it was due to his mother's absence, or his father's looming legacy shadowing him. He wanted to right that wrong. "Do what exactly?" Florian said with fatherly eyes peering towards his son. "This," Ambrose said, his arms outstretched towards the line of steel. Florian's face twisted slightly. He always pulled that face when thinking. He dismounted and beckoned his son to do the same. They both trudged towards a peak of a moor. Behind the mound, a slow slurry of snow wafted across the landscape, and the thigh-high grass whipping at the greaves like so many snakes. "You see that?" Florian pointed a mailed finger towards the glistening throng that cut their way through the wild western countryside. "Those are my men. And why are they here?" Ambrose fumbled for an answer. "Go on, boy. Why?" Florian said, egging his son on. "Duty?" Ambrose blurted. He always turned into a child again when it was a question posed by his father, longing to impress. Duty? Florian's eyebrow peaked. You sound like my father. Family, duty, honour. That's what he'd say, constantly. I heard it in my sleep eventually. I think those were his first words. Florian and Ambrose giggled. What then? Ambrose asked. In a flash he was 6 again in the throne room on his father's lap, sitting on that ugly mangled wooden chair as his father dispensed his justice. Do you think the Rack Lord feels any duty toward me? Or any Sevenstars that's worn one of these for that matter? Florian laughed, gesticulating the ancient crown that belonged to a millennia of those who would now bend the knee from Winterfell around his head. The fuckers boast of their storied lineage but tuck tail whenever there's a battle to fight. Is that duty? Florian said, still laughing. He stopped cackling and smiled. I'll tell you why, my boy. When I was a prince, or a young king even, I won hearts. When I matured, I won heads. Let respect and command come with time. By your age, I had a bastard. I had once emptied a chamber pot on that idiot Bloom boy. What was his name again? Colmar? No, that would be a great disservice to that great man. Allard, that was it. Father and son laughed once more. Was that kingly? No, it came with time. These men, Florian again pointed at the winding row of spears and bejeweled horses, they fight for me because I gave them a smile. Once, a decade ago. Or did their parents. They fight for me because I dispense law with justice and without any corruption. What I mean is, give the people an ounce of love, and they repay it tenfold. And for the lords, Florian scratched his beard. My father was 3/4 right. You do your duty by them, and do not besmirch their honour. Definitely don't make them your family. You'll end up with issues like I had with your mother. Florian laughed, though Ambrose was not sure how to feel about it. Florian reached across and placed one hand behind Ambrose's head and yanked him. The iron hand and the velvet. That's what Uncle Damon used to say. That's how I do this, my boy. And, in time, with some adjusting, the crown will sit comfortably, as will this. Florian unsheathed Mother's Mercy with an extravagance interestant with his youth and pressed it into his palm. Ambrose glared at the iridescent blue ripples and the gleaming red star. It is in our blood to rule, to dispense justice, and uphold duties, yes, but more importantly, to garner love or respect. Choose your method, but do not neglect either, my boy. That was the downfall of my father and my grandmother before him. Never neglect either. Artemis Anvil died under suspicious circumstances. Lots of people being killed under suspicious circumstances lately, it seems. And Reaver's Watchers also fell, and rebels killed Mina Liddell after taking Reaver's. Okay, so didn't know the Liddles were still around. Oh, there's a lot of living members of the Liddles, apparently. Oh, wow, they've actually killed everybody in Reaver's Watch. Wow. They killed the whole family, but the Lord and his sibling. Ouch. Let's get our troops together a little bit quicker then. We need to go and do something about this quickly. They are literally sacking all that. It's as bad as the Brotherhood without banners. This is why we need to get the Wolfswood taken over. Your Grace, I've been instructing young Enger in the ways of sword and lance as requested. I'm pleased to say he appears a natural. His martial prowess has improved greatly. He has become a trained fighter. Awesome. Well done, Prince Enger. Prince Enger. I'd love it if he became very impressive. Well, he's already very impressive, isn't he? But if he became, like, one of a kind impressive. Andrea Rosehart died of complications related to gout. Okay. Can we get our troops together a little bit quicker, please, guys? It's taking a long time. Sevensport's charity is going well. Perfect. My Master of Coin, Sir Damon, has been hard at work in Sevensport. Awesome. Motivating the local people to work even harder. A raven has arrived. We should rejoice as winter is coming to an end. Finally, that was one hell of a long winter. They're going to go up and sack that area now, aren't they, if we're not careful? At least they didn't kill the young Brightling Lord. Right, I've got 14,000 men here. We're just waiting for the last few stragglers. It's probably enough to win that war, to be honest. Let's let Florian lead it. Walder Rosehart and you know what? Let's get our son in there as well. Try and get him some experience. 14,000. We'll be able to smash that host without the stragglers, but the stragglers can catch up. 14,000 will be enough there. A son was born to High King Florian the Eagle and Queen Marjorie of Andalia, named Dorin Sevenstar, who is sickly, which is not good. What name have we not used yet? Let me think. Great warriors. We've had Stefan. Let's go for Colmar after Colmar Bloom. Colmar Sevenstar. Let's just hope that he can get over the sickliness. I didn't even know we had another son on the way. I can't remember that. Medra Hardor has Valyrian Steel Dagger. It's warming in the fields of Sevensport. You're great. I hereby request that my half-brother, Commander Joseph Folman, be appointed as my successor to command Sevensguard. Let's have a look at him. He's a knight, but there is... Oh, Commander... Half-brother Commander Joseph Folman. Let's have a look. No, I can find a better commander. I don't care if I upset him. I have plans for Sevensguard for other people. We're going to have a lot of spare 7-stars kicking about the place, so we need ways of keeping them happy, and that is going to be through lands. Maester Simmons is worried about my newborn son. Colmar is a feeble little thing, even compared to other infants. Simon says he might not live to see his first. Master Simon, you must attempt to save my son Colmar. And they've split their host, which is perfect, so we can now go and crush it with less problems. Got this smaller host here. Let's combine those together. And under the control of Guy Mudd, Edrion Belmont, and a man's Chainbreaker, we'll march that army there. We've got to stop them before they siege that last bit of land and extinguish any families. We don't want a repeat of what happened to House Flake. It seems as if whatever treatment Master Simon, I keep saying Simmons because we've had Simmons before, administrated, little Colmar is much better. He loses the trait sickly. Awesome. Perfect. Another living son for Florian. The next one I think will be an Edric if we have another son. And perfect. We have gained a claim upon the last half. That did not take you very long. So, let's send you now to fabricate a claim upon the mountain clans. Well, the hill clans. That's all that's left, really, I think. And here we go, the great battle. Florian leading this host should smash it. Brandon Umbra is now known as the Old. Nice. Yeah, there we go. Easy victory. Very easy victory. Absolutely smashed that host. We're probably not going to have much manpower. I imagine we'll slaughter them to a man. Oh no, we killed 3,000, but it took us to 100% war score. Offer peace, enforced demands. Perfect. Let's disband the host. We'll let her rot. She did just slaughter an entire family of people, so we're going to have to do something about that. Alicent Glover. We will execute the imprisoned. She'll be hung like a common criminal for what she's done. And now can we go to war because we've got the excuse to do so. No, he's been imprisoned, so that war's going to be over pretty soon, isn't it? Declare war. Will it still? Yeah, it's still. Invasion of the North? Yeah, we'd still be breaking a truce, unfortunately. It's a shame that we can't just go and invade Skagos. That would be much easier. Pretty cool. I think it must have to be an old god kingdom. These are dark days. My daughter Princess Mina has been beset by a high fever. Call for a physician at once. The shits strike again, it would seem. The shits are freaking everywhere again. Why is that making a comeback? And he saved her. Perfect. I shall personally praise him to the court. Maybe Maester Simon's better than I first gave him credit for in that last episode. I was a little bit underwhelmed by him, but yeah, he's proving to be pretty decent. Osmond Belmore is now known as the Fat. There isn't really anywhere else that I'd want to invade down here, if I'm perfectly honest, so we won't be doing that. It's the north that we want under our control for now. It's just a shame that we can't really do much about that at present. It's really annoying. We could break it, but it's going to lower all Westerosi God Rulers' opinion of us by 25, which we don't want. Even though people really like us, we don't want to do that. Someone was born to Osric Steelheart and someone Laxley, Walder Steelheart. Okay. So annoying that we can't just invade Skagos. My wife Marjorie has been really letting herself go of late. What was once a graceful and delicate woman has slowly become an undignified and hefty glutton. Only excited about her next great feast. I need to warn her as politely as I can. Yeah, we'll go for that. I was relieved to see that my words did not go unheard. Marjorie thanked me for my concern and promised me that she will start dieting immediately. She even got an increased opinion because of it. Marcella Bloom died under suspicious circumstances, which is a shame. She was a lunatic, though, so I suppose it's not the end of the world. Any new things that we can do yet? My studies and training have taught me the general tactics of flanks and centre, but I can hardly master everything. What do we want to be a master of? Centre, a flanker, a battle, choke points, or a trickster? Well, what is... our good friend, Danish Royce. He is a direct leader, so he'll lead in the centre. So if we go to war, I'm going to want him in the centre. If the centre can hold, the battle is over. Outflanking the... So we will be... Or do we become a trickster? Experimental plus 30%. Trickster could be interesting. Yeah, let's go for a trickster. Unpredictability. Why not? Let's go for that. And your grace, it's come to the attention of the Bank's Council that print blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care what's going on in Yeetie. Why the hell would I? Could we actually invade the wall? Yeah, we actually could if we wanted to. We're not going to, but... My ward, Arwen, has a tender and loving soul. And, okay, we've got a liberation war in the Reach. Let her get kind. Show everyone how virtuous she is. No, we'll let her get the kind trait. Decent trait gives you a couple of pluses, doesn't it? So, why not? Why not indeed? When is this going to end? What's the war score? 67% in favour of the Morgath still. That's fine. Will this guy just hurry up and die? Oh, he's only 51. That was his son, I've just realised that he's imprisoned and blinded. You evil bastard. Bit harsh, isn't it? So annoyed. Ah! Gotta wait so many years. Can we arrange that tourney again yet? No, unfortunately not. Not really much that we can do. We can hold a feast and a summer fair. Let's hold a summer fair. Why not? Get the small folk on side even more. And we've got one child lacking a focus. Lister Snow, our bastard son, who's decent in intrigue. Rather him be something else, though. Let's go for duty. Why not? Make him loyal that way. Lord Manfred of the Lonely Light was beheaded on the orders of the Lord Paramount of the Iron Islands. Okay. We've only got a few years to go, I suppose. An errant monk is just disturbing the summer fair by preaching about sins. It's just another part of the entertainment, but it will upset someone. But we could have a local... we'll just have to upset the Sept, and I don't want to upset the small folk. Of the Claw piece, I thought, what happened in the Claw? Nothing really. The Summer Fair's archery contest went very well. The clout and the space around it was filled with arrows. Some of them had hit the bullseye, some of them had missed the clout altogether. The winner was a modest man who disappeared rather quickly after he collected his prize. Master Theobald of Goldenfield. That is suspicious. We gained 10 prestige. So he was a good archer, a good poacher as well, I think. We lose Temple Vassal Opinion by 5, but we gain 2 intrigue. Good archer, that man. We lose 39 gold. Oh, it would be cool to gain some intrigue just to make it a little bit better, as we're not that good in it, but I can't see that. I think Florian would pay up the money. My ward Athos is inquisitive, asks so many questions, it's hard to answer them all. I'll try my best and give an answer. Athos seems to like me even more. I think we've become friends. Become friends with our ward. Well, that's good. When Athos plays with the other children, he seems to favour those who are closer in relation. He becomes a family man. Well, everyone is equal. He could gain... No, we'll let him have family man. That's not a bad trait to have. Can we force train him yet? No, unfortunately not. But at least he's our friend now. So we're going to have another lord who's going to be our friend. Was he the lord? No, he wasn't the lord, was he? He's the brother of the lord. That's fine. Damwell the Just wants to duel Lord Mance of Bear Island. I'll allow the duel, but I don't see it going well for you, my friend, against flipping Mance Chainbreaker. The guy's an absolute machine. Oh, another betrothal for someone to marry Peer, isn't it? I'm going to have to Barristan of the Stormland Liberation Revolt has declared a liberation revolt. There's a lot of liberation revolts going on lately. No, you're not marrying Pia. We're going to have to find her a match, aren't we? Just to... Let's go for a matrimonial marriage. How old is she now? 21. Just to get people to leave the poor girl alone. Have we got anyone? 17. Oh god, no, not a Valyrian. Fuck right off. You can do one. Let's have a look at the ones with the best traits. We might be able to get someone decent into our court. Marshal. Nah. Stewardship. Nah. Intrigue. No, we'll leave her. We'll leave her single for now. Oh, she has a friend. Urena Royce. Interesting. Okay. My bannerman Lady Morta Redfoot has tried to have Lady Mara Aaron of Ruffermont arrested, and she's achieved it. She's been arrested twice within the space of a couple of months. And she's our rival, apparently. I didn't know that. The peddlers are loading their wares, and the merchants are taking down their stalls. Perfect. +5 prestige. No. Go away. I'm not marrying off my daughter to some foreign savage in the east. Oh no, Lord Enger, the planter of Willowwood, has died at the age of 76 attending to chamber business. He has died the way of Enger the First. So our new Lord of Willowwood is Lord Pyron at the age of 58, who's very decent martial-wise, but he is a lunatic with gonorrhea. And then his hair is Horsley. Jeremy... Right, okay, Horsley's pretty decent then, martial-wise. Not a great fighter, but he's got decent martial. And why are the gates closed down here? Do we have a... epidemic? All the pox is spreading rapidly through the south. Hopefully it doesn't spread too much in Andalia. If we can just get to the end of this year. Can we have that tourney yet? Can we hold a grand tourney? Not until the 12th moon of 67/8. Oh, it's now changed then. Oh, it's constantly changing, so I don't think we can have one for a long while by the looks of it. But at least we're only 2 years away from that invasion now, which is good. Can we hold a feast? We can search for a smith again now as well, so I'm going to do that. We will forge a weapon for one of the houses down south, and we'll hold a feast as well. Why not? We've got plenty of cash. Let's spend some of it. Let's spoil our vassals. And no, we're not marrying Pia off to anyone. Lady Jane of Hornwood accepted Lord Maynard of the Warrior's Watch is peace offer. Lord Maynard of the Warrior's Way has usurped the title High Lordship of the Warrior's Way from Lord Jane of the Hornwood. Now this is a turn of events. 17,000 men. Wow. Oh, he's had another son. Alaric Morgoth. Got Cain Morgoth. And wow, I've never seen the Morgoth so secure. But the Warrior's Way is now... the Warrior's Watch is now in control of the Warrior's Way. What's he going to do with the land is what I'm rather curious about. Let's forward along a little bit more. 2 more years still until we can start that invasion of the north, which is rather annoying. I'm just going to completely ignore this because they're starting to really annoy me. No. The best part about preparing a feast, we'll spend lavishly on food. And there we go. Florian is gaining the fat trait. That's fine. He's getting old. It doesn't matter. I hereby invite you to the feast. That's fine. We've not had a fat king in a while. He's a middle-aged king who feasts all the time. Lord Brandon the Old decided to release Lord Duncan the Cruel from prison. While pondering over the guest list for the feast, I wondered if I should invite my friend Sir Harith. Of course we should. Maybe we can get him as the new lord. Oh, and perfect. Lord Amville is a very good diplomat. He's got a claim on that already. Will we be able to move him yet? Oh, we can. So he's been away longer than I thought. Let's get a claim on Skagos then. Oh my god, go away. You're not having my daughter's hand in marriage. Foreign savages from the east. Go away. Lord Enger of High Point decided to exile Enger Brightmire. Okay. Exiled him to the south. And we'll look for entertainment for the feast. Keep everybody happy. Try and skip a few years. The guests have finally arrived. Awesome. Hopefully they'll enjoy. My Master-at-Arms, Danish Royce, has told me about a remarkable weaponsmith residing in the White Star. A fine idea, Danies. Thank you very much. I rushed around trying to get everyone to work hard and making sure everything was ready for the feast. I waited patiently for my friend Sir Harith to arrive, but still did my best to make sure every guest felt welcome and found their designated place at the high table. Perfect. You can never go wrong with a good sword. Yeah, we'll make a sword. We're making it for Lord Mud, I think, and we'll not go into battle without the very best. You committed much gold to this extravagant feast. In particular, the guests were impressed by the large centerpiece. Yes, of course. Walder Rack has used the attendance at the feast in Sevensport to present a petition for justice. He claims that Lord Walton Fenn had one of his king's men murdered. Walton Fenn, he doesn't have any kills, so I'm afraid he's not guilty. Lady Marissa spoke up and told everyone how good the food at my feast was. Thank you, Lady Redfort. So Harrowfret used the position to present a petition for justice before the court. He claims that Lord Winterfell had one of his king's men murdered and demands that he is brought to justice for his outrageous crime. Now, Harrowfret's our good friend. Do we really want to upset him? Then Lord Fenn also likes us. Not guilty. Sorry, you're not a lord. He is a lord. I'd rather keep the lord on side. The minstrel sang and the ladies wept. The minstrel sang and the lords laughed. His performance at my feast was above my expectations, and I congratulated myself for hiring him. Lord Guy Mudd of Seaguard seemed to enjoy it anyway, so that's good. Lord Wickham died. Barristan Bar Emin accepted Lord Paramount Robert of the Stormlands peace offer. Well, that didn't last too long. Wow, 48,000 men. Seems the Stormlands like their new Aaron Star overlord. We have now used a lot of our money though, which is a worrying point. Yorick of Mistwood died of cancer. Lord Yorick died of cancer. So who is the new lord now? The new lord is Lord Bradamar of Mistlewood, who's not that impressive, but his son is ridiculous. Sir Edric Rook. I just wish we could bring him to court because he's insane. Whispers. In my chambers and in my dreams there are whispers. I keep looking around but no one is there. Even during my deepest sleep the voices are whispering. When I ask my family and friends if they hear the whispers, they only look at me with concern. What is this? What are these whispers saying? I can barely understand the words. Below, beneath, listen, and eyes. These are the words I hear the most. Maybe someone is spying, or maybe it's nothing, or those filthy warlocks. No, I have to focus. 10% chance that we could become a lunatic. I don't think it happened though. But that's a worrying sign. Florian is hearing voices. Never a good thing, is it? It happened whilst I was outside. I finally heard something understandable. The whispers were clearer, and that voice, it was different, calming for a second. I almost believed everything the voices told me about Lord Edrian. Involved in a plot? I didn't want to believe it, but why risk it? I sent someone to investigate. It was true. His plot to kill Maester Wayne of Weeping was real. People cannot be trusted. At least the voices can be trusted. We gain stress and a plot is revealed, or people cannot be trusted. Plot is revealed and a 10% chance we gain lunatic. Thankfully, I don't think we did, but it's weird that his voices are telling the truth. Damien Shycross died stillborn, and the Lord of Old Anchor, Lord Clifton, died frothing at the mouth. We didn't gain lunatic, did we? No, but still a worrying sign. But anyway, we will end this episode here, guys. So thank you all so much for watching, as always. I hope you enjoyed. Please don't forget to leave a like down below, comment, and subscribe. And hopefully I'll see you all very soon for the next episode of the Knights of Andalia. Footsteps echoed through the holdfast of the Hornwood, as Lord Maynard wandered the halls of the ancient keep. Once this had been the home of some northern house that bore the same name as the castle. What an utterly absurd notion. Surely that had to be a lack of inventiveness by the maesters. Now it was the home of House Rack, granted to them by King Enger I, and with it, domain over all of the Warriors' Way. They had ruled these lands for well over 100 years, and showed themselves to be less competent than anyone could have expected. Their misrule had been ruinous for their lands. But that all laid in the past now, for change had come. Maynard entered the wide courtyard of the keep, his eyes overlooking the walls. The moose banners were being dropped one by one, slowly covered by the white snow of the courtyard. In their stead, large red banners were being dropped, displaying the two golden circles intertwined. This was the castle of the Overlord of the Warriors' Way after all, and it should display the colours of its rulers. Not some low-born miscreants. A sly smile showed on his face as he watched the process of the banner being removed. It was simple, yes, but a firm reminder for all who held this castle now. Turning away from the showcase, his steps carried him back into the castle. No matter how much he enjoyed it, there were other matters that required his attention for now. He had triumphed. the castle falling to him after many a moon's siege. While not gifted in arms, his men had brought him a quick victory. The time had been opportune, and there had been a dire need of change in rulership, so when the lion showed his claws, so did he. Now all he needed was to legitimize himself before all those who mattered. Entering the grand hall of the Hornwood, 2 guards opened the great oaken gates for him. Inside awaited a small gathering: his wife, the maester, a few servants, the servant girl Rayna, in particular falling into his eye, and a few guards. He walked with a light step, enjoying every moment of his triumph. Reaching the lord's table, he seated himself next to his lady wife. "Bring me Lady Rack," he commanded, raising an empty chalice. "And some wine. I do not want to die of thirst while I celebrate," he quipped. Both commands were quickly executed as his chalice was filled with some arbor gold. Taking a few sips, he waited the lady of the Hornwood. He had to admit that even in the moment of her defeat, Lady Rack carried herself with calm and elegance. Once they had taken the castle, she was placed under house arrest, but in the servant quarters. The chamber of the lord or lady was not hers anymore. "Lord Morgoth," greeted Lady Jane in an icy tone, an equally cold glare meeting the eyes of Maynard. In reply, he only chuckled. "Lady Rack, thank you so much for joining us," he answered, a smile still dancing on his lips. "I think this feud has taken too much time, so I believe we should end it accordingly." There was a short silence before Lady Rack replied. "Then we find ourselves in agreement, my lord. Once you leave with all your men and restore my castle to me, I am willing to forgive your treason." Maynard burst into laughter, though he clearly showed some anger toward her rebuttal. "I don't think you understand, Lady Rack." He stood, his anger growing with every syllable. "I hold your lands. I hold your castle. I am drinking your wine. I sleep in your chambers, and tonight..." He allowed the words to hang in the air for a moment. "And tonight I will celebrate in your bed." His eyes glanced between the serving girl and his wife, still waiting to make a decision. "These are my lands, as you yourself admitted. You may have won for now, but nothing changes about our positions," Lady Jane answered, managing to keep her calm but cold demeanour. "You are so right, Lady Jane. Thank you for reminding me." He turns towards the guard. "Fetch the maester's quill, ink and parchment. He needs to write." The guard compiled and left the room. Maynard returning to look upon the woman. "I do not intend for you to keep your title. In my mercy, you may keep these lands, but not domain over the warrior's way," Lady Jane made to answer, but Maynard's temper struck before she could. "You will speak to when spoken to, wench. Stay quiet," he shouted before regaining his composure. "Your house is an embarrassment to this realm. Since the days of Lord Estienne, you have brought nothing but shame. Humiliated at the hands of Theon Bolton, we are unable to beat them due to your ancestors' arrogance. Then they promised us glory by taking the Firehands, arguing that a woman would be defenceless against our men. Rather ironic now, isn't it? Instead, we were beaten, your lord boiled alive and you losing your family sword. House Rack has proven to be cowards and fought himself above the Hootons, Blue Stars and Morgoths, but your house forgot the most important lesson of the warrior's way. But we Morgoths have not, for our very house words echo this lesson. Bound together, we are strong." With those words, the guards returned, bearing the requested items. Placing them down before the maester, the man was forced to sit. "Now write down these very words, maester." His eyes shot to Lady Rack, though she gave no reply. "I, Lord Maynard of the House Morgoth, hereby declare that House Morgoth will be the overlord of the warrior's way. House Rack surrenders any claims to these lands and becomes a willing vassal of House Morgoth, serving as lord or lady of the Hornwood." He glanced towards the maester scribbling on the parchment, before seeing the completed work. Maynard seized the quill and signed it before turning and handing it to Lady Rack. "You have time to decide, though I do warn you that if you refuse, I do not know how long you will still have my protection from my men. They thirst to celebrate this victory, and I have half a mind to give them something." With those words he returned back to his own chambers, once those of House Rack. Only minutes after did he receive the signed parchment, with a smile spreading on his face. "Send a copy of this to all lords of the warrior's way, and the king in Sevensport. Let them know who rules here now." The guard nodded and began to leave before Maynard added, "And remind them of our creed. why we hold the warrior's way and not House rank. Bound together, we are strong.